Welcome back, dear listeners, to another episode of Susan Lopresti Wellness, Mind, Body, and Soul, the podcast where we explore the highs, the lows, and everything in between when it comes to a woman's life, her health, and all aspects of navigating the midlife landscape. I'm your host, Susan Lopresti, and today I'm coming on to talk to you about a very important topic that a lot of midlife women suffer with, and that is insomnia. So let's get right into it and start with exactly what is insomnia. According to the American Sleep Association, insomnia refers to the trouble of either falling asleep or staying asleep. It can affect someone for a short period of time. So if you're under a lot of stress and you have a lot of things going on in your life or something traumatic has happened, it may cause you to not be able to sleep. When you get into bed, you start thinking about it and just going over it again and again in your head. That's pretty natural, but it's chronic insomnia that's really concerning, and it could last for months or it could last for years. And the problem with that is that it really does affect your health. And so we need to get a handle on that and do whatever we possibly can to improve that condition. The Sleep Management Institute states that an estimated 30 to 50% of the general population is affected by insomnia, and 10% have chronic insomnia. Let's talk about how much sleep we should actually be getting. And sleep is a vital indicator of overall health and well-being. We spend up to 1/3 of our lives asleep, and the overall state of our sleep health remains an essential question throughout our lifespan. Most of us know that getting a good night's sleep is important, but too few of us make those 8 hours or so between the sheets a priority in their life. For many of us with sleep deprivation, we've forgotten what it feels like to wake up well rested. On average, according to the National Sleep Foundation, this is what a recommended sleep average looks like by age. So I'm going to break it down for you. Newborns, 0 to 3 months, they sleep approximately 14 to 17 hours each day. Infants, 4 to 11 months, get between 12 and 15 hours of sleep. Toddlers, 1 to 2 years of age, they get about 11 to 14 hours of sleep. Preschoolers, ages 3 to 5, 10 to 13 hours a day. School-age children, so children 6 to 13 years old, they get between 9 and 11 hours per day. Teenagers that are 14 to 17 years of age sleep about 8 to 10 hours a day. Younger adults, 18 to 25, they get 7 to 9 hours a day. Adults 26 to 64, they're getting roughly 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And older adults, so 65 and older, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And that's just the norm. Not many of us are actually meeting the mark for the recommended sleep based on our age. And so many of us might be feeling the negative effects of lack of sleep during our waking hours, and that's terrible. Sleep Management Institute lists the following as some of the side effects of sleep deprivation: poor concentration and focus, difficulty with memory, impaired motor coordination, so basically just being uncoordinated, irritability and impaired social interaction, motor vehicle accidents because of fatigue, and being sleep-deprived drivers. Knowing the consequences, you may now be asking, what can be done about insomnia? If you don't know about Dr. Axe, his last name is spelled A-X-E, Look him up. He's one of my favorites that I follow on social media. He's a naturopathic doctor and a nutritionist, and he believes that diet is crucial when it comes to sleep deprivation. He argues that consuming sugars and carbohydrates before bed can increase the body's temperature to burn those sugars off, which is a disruptive to sleep. And he advises limiting carbs and sugars in the late hours to get optimal sleep. Healthy fats like avocado or sugar-free yogurt, he claims, are great choices for late night eating because they are high in relaxation-inducing nutrients such as magnesium, which is always great, and potassium. There's also some great beverages that can provide these nutrients as well. There are a couple of great recipes for different drinks that you could have in the evening hours that are conducive to sleep. And I will put some links in the notes of this episode so that you could go back and research some of them. One of them is a banana peel tea, which is rich in both magnesium and potassium, which helps with sleep. There's another one that's called pink mood milk or tart cherry juice, and that is also a great source of melatonin. Chamomile Lavender Latte includes a lot of powerful and natural relaxants. So go and check that one out. And then Turmeric Golden Milk, and that's a favorite of mine because this is great for inflammation and also balancing blood sugar. So I'm going to put the links, like I said, in the description of this episode, and you could go back and get the recipes for those. And there are plenty of things that help to induce sleep. And it's also important to consider what to avoid when treating insomnia. So let's look at that. When looking to make changes for better sleep, it's important that we assess what may affect the quality of our sleep and the cause of our restlessness. Now, like I said in the beginning, it could be something stressful that's going on in your life. And if that's the case, usually within a couple of weeks, that resolves and you go back to normal. But let's look at diet. So there's a list from Medical Daily online that specifically says to avoid these types of foods in the later part of the evening. Spicy foods, very bad to eat late at night. Greasy foods, such as any kind of fast food. Now, I'm a health coach, so I'm telling you, never eat those types of foods, right? We don't want them. We don't need them. Any kind of processed foods or fast food restaurants, avoid them at all costs. So if you're having them in the evening, that could be the reason that your sleep is not optimal. Meats and cheeses as well. Alcohol, believe it or not, is a stimulant. So you may fall asleep, but you will not get a restful sleep. And chances are you will wake up in the middle of the night. Caffeine, which is a no-brainer. Nicotine, dark chocolate, sugar, and carbohydrates again. Let's set a routine, right? And a routine is an essential element when considering healthy sleep patterns. Setting and following a sleep schedule can increase the likelihood of falling asleep and staying asleep. The National Sleep Organization recommends setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, and that includes the weekends. So if you're working Monday through Friday, a lot of people on Saturday and Sunday want to sleep in. They usually will go to sleep later. They'll watch late night movies and then they wake up later in the morning. But that is actually working against you. So even if you wake up at 6 o'clock Monday through Friday and you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday, you should follow that schedule on the weekends as well. If you are a night owl, what we suggest is that you slowly subtract 15 minutes a night to your regular sleep time until you reach your bedtime goal. And as for getting up, you need to take your hands off the snooze button. If the alarm goes off at 6 a.m., shut the alarm off and get up and start your day. You're not doing yourself any great service by keep hitting the snooze bar, because it's just disrupting your sleep and you're going off of a schedule that you really need to stick to in order to get that good quality of sleep. And then there are some insomnia specific exercises that could also help you with getting a good night's sleep. Now, you may have heard not to exercise in the late evening because it will actually ramp you up and you will not be able to go to sleep. But there are some good exercises that you can do in the evening to help you with sleep. One that I would recommend is a short yoga practice where you're focusing on your breath and you are just stretching out your muscles and relieving any tension that you may have held on to during the course of the day. So yoga for me is a great option in the evening. And you don't have to do a full yoga routine, just a couple of stretches, and also relieving that stress with your breath as well. So again, Dr. Axe, he's that naturopathic and nutrition doctor, and he lists stress as a leading cause of insomnia. I said earlier, something stressful is going on in your life. One of the first things that it affects is when you go to sleep, you put your head on the pillow, and all of a sudden, all you're doing is going over and over again that situation that's going on. So he suggests, and I suggested as well, is to reduce that stress, get into breath work, right? And just be mindful of your breath. Slow, deep breathing turns off the sympathetic nervous system and kicks on the parasympathetic nervous system, which controls our ability to relax. And that's what we need to do. So when you practice deep breathing while in bed, you're giving your body permission to quit being on high alert and instead to relax. With this in mind, let's take a look at some recommended exercises for mindful breathing for stress reduction. And these are just some tips that I'm going to give you. And then you can go online and learn from different meditation practitioners and breathwork practitioners and just do what works best for you. But here's a couple that I just want to offer to you. It's called perched lip breathing. So what you do is you take a deep breath for about 2 counts, then pucker your lips and exhale for a count of 4. And just do this for a few rounds and see if that doesn't help you out. Diaphragmatic breathing, with this one, you put your hand on your chest and your other on the belly. And as you breathe in deeply for about 2 seconds, your belly should stick out a bit. Feel the air expanding your stomach, and then breathe out slowly through your lips, and you'll feel your stomach going back in. And that's a great technique to do. It's very calming, it's very relaxing, and a lot of people find that that works really well for them. Yoga breath. With yoga breath, you place your right thumb over your right nostril, and then you breathe in through your left nostril. Then you take your right ring finger and place it over your left nostril and exhale from your right nostril, and then you switch sides again. Another great technique is 4-7-8 breathing. You inhale for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 7, and then you release for a count of 8, and you repeat this 3 to 4 times and see if that doesn't relax you in some way. And then there are some mantras for insomnia sufferers. Meditation is a great way to work on breath and to focus on the centering of your body, which also helps to relieve anxieties and stress. The daily meditation suggests trying some mantras in the evening to help you fall asleep. And a mantra is a phrase or sounds that are repeated over and over to soothe and relax the mind. And I'm just going to give you one sample mantra that you could try. And that is just to say, I am calm and still. The world is sleeping and all is well. I welcome sleep into my being. I am breathing deeply and calmly, becoming more and more relaxed with each breath that I take. For the best results, repeat one or all, depending on which ones that you like, and just try doing it for up to 20 times and see if you don't feel more relaxed with that. I also want to talk about how technology can be affecting your sleep. Our cell phones, our tablets, computers, and all other electronics have become such a huge part of our daily lives that it's often hard to put them down. Even at bedtime, keeping your phone on your nightstand may seem like it's not a big deal, but technology affects your sleep in more ways than you realize. Whether you're surfing the web, playing a video game, or using your phone as an alarm clock in the late evening, you're probably keeping yourself from a restful sleep. The National Sleep Foundation warns gadget users of the ill effects of late-night phones, computers, and tablets, and the effect that it has on your sleep. The blue light from these gadgets suppresses your natural occurring melatonin, a hormone that's responsible for regulating your sleep cycle. Gadgets also keep your brains alert, not something that we want when we're trying to get to sleep. The solution is to limit gadget use in bed or close to bedtime, right? And if you use your phone as your alarm, put it in another room. You will hear the alarm from another room. It's just helpful to get all the gadgets and electronics out of your bedroom. They don't belong there. The only thing that a bedroom is for sleep and for sex. You don't need computers and laptops and anything else in your bedroom. For some, noise is necessary for falling asleep. And I know that a lot of people will say that they can't fall asleep without their television on. But a proper noise machine is a great alternative to the distraction of a TV. And it's a more soothing way to go to sleep. And there are many options, include sleep-inducing sounds such as white noise, ocean waves, waterfalls, rainforests, and also rivers. Now, the other suggestion, if you don't want to try one of those options, to set a timer on your television and set it for 30 minutes. So if you need that TV to put you to sleep, once you're asleep, you don't need to keep listening all night to the television because you won't get a deep, restful sleep. Your mind will hear that background noise and you'll never get into a full, restful sleep. So if you don't want to try a sound machine, which are really beautiful ways to fall asleep, then set your television timer to go off in 30 minutes. Another great technique are essential oils for better sleep. And experts state that essential oils act by triggering the central nervous system and the circulatory system to promote sleep in the body. They list several natural sleep aids on their website, and here are just a few. Lavender oil. Lavender oil is a natural sedative. It comes with anti-stress and anti-anxiety properties as well. Cedarwood oil is another great one. It decreases your heart rate and has a soothing quality to it. Chamomile oil is another great sedative with anti-stress properties. And there's several ways that you can use them. You could diffuse them. You could put these oil in a bath. Also, Epsom salt is another great way to relax your body in the evening. Take a beautiful Epsom salt bath, put some essential oils in it, maybe put some soothing music on, and just relax in your bath and just get into a peaceful state, and you'll see a world of difference. You could do a foot massage with them as well. You want to be sure that you're using a carrier oil when you put essential oils on your skin. So just put like 2 drops of essential oils to maybe 1 tablespoon of a carrier oil, maybe coconut oil. Coconut oil is great. If you don't have coconut oil, you could use almond oil, or even olive oil is fine. And then also direct inhalation. So if you don't have a diffuser, you can put a pot of water on the stove and just put a couple of drops in the water of, let's say, lavender or any of the essential oils that I talked about. Turn the flame off once it starts steaming. Put that towel over your head and just inhale these beautiful scents, and you will notice a calming effect coming over you. There's some really great teas. I always drink a sleepy time tea in the evening. There's different teas out there that you can try. And you could also, if you want, if you're ambitious enough and you want to make your own tea, I have a little recipe here where you could put some lavender flowers. You'll need about 1.5 tablespoons of it. And then just steep that in water and then sift out the flowers and just drink that tea. It's a wonderful way to relax. Another thing that I want to suggest to make conducive for sleeping is changing the temperature or lowering the temperature down in the evening when you're sleeping. You don't need to have the heat on. Put a nice warm blanket on and set the temperature for like 60 or 65 degrees, and you will see a world of difference. If you are suffering with hot flashes and night sweats, you want to be able to stay at a cooler temperature. I also suggest that your bed sheets should be natural fibers, either silk or cotton, and not mixed with polyester or any unnatural fibers, because they don't breathe as well, and that will lead you to sweat even more. So you want to lower the temperature of your room, and you want to use natural fibers on your bed and also your bed clothing. Make sure that they're natural fibers. It makes a really big difference in how your sleep quality will improve. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want some additional information on sleep, I have a ton of information. You could go to my website, www.susanlopresti.com. You could actually schedule a free 30-minute health assessment with me. You're under no obligation at all to continue. And I just want to say, if you believe that this episode or any of the episodes on my podcast would help someone who you know and love, please, I would appreciate it so much if you could share it out with them. Share it on your social media. Let people know about me. My mission is really to get the word out to midlife women that we can enjoy this wonderful time of life. We can stay healthy and we can thrive. We can reverse a lot of the ailments that we have simply by changing our diet, improving our sleep, getting more exercise, socializing more, meditating more. And that's what my message is. My message is that we want to live long, happy lives, and we want to be healthy enough to enjoy them. That's the message of my podcast. So if you know of anyone who's struggling with their health in any way, shape, or form, share my podcast with them. I offer so many different tools and suggestions of ways that you can stay healthy. And I would appreciate that so very much. Until the next time, be well, stay happy, and bye for now. Take good care, everyone.